Batman Arkham Asylum released back in 2009. I was only 6 years old when this game came out. And honestly, this was a very developmental game for me. I had grown up playing the Lego Batman game before I had saw the Batman Arkham Asylum. And then I saw my dad playing it mostly growing up. And so I have a lot of memories of this franchise before I even started playing it. Uh, so today, what I want to do is I want to go back with you all and revisit the original Arkham Asylum game and see if we can revisit some of those classic memories that I'm sure we all have of this game growing up. The game begins with Batman taking Joker into Arkham, and it's nice. What's the word? Atmospheric opening where we get to see a bit of Gotham and the lights flashing over Batman and Joker in the Batmobile, and we see Batman bring the Joker in, and we get to walk around for a little bit while we get to bring Joker in because Batman's like,
Warden, something's not right. I'm going with him.
so we stop, we say hi to Croc for a minute, and we make our way through the asylum, and I mean, sure as shit, Joker takes on over. And this is where we're introduced into the combat system. The combat system here, while rudimentary nowadays compared to what we get with the Arkham franchise later down the road, with Arkham Knight being perfections of what this is, the free flow combat system was revolutionary at the time. Being able to counter your enemies and do ground takedowns and use gadgets in combat, while not nearly as advanced as what we're going to get in later games, is certainly still nothing to scoff at in this. But once the first wave of guards is taken down, we're able to actually find the very first Riddler trophy of the game right here. And begins an entire side quest in the game where you have to find all of the trophies, and once you do, you'll be able to go and send the police after the Riddler. But that is for later. For now, we have to go and find ourselves Joker again, and we fight our first massive Titan thug. Now, at this point in the game, we don't exactly know what Titan is, other than it makes these big fuckers. And even with this fight, we don't even actually fight him. We just have to run out the clock. After he goes down to cardiac arrest, we go into our first Predator section where we don't exactly have a lot of options in this game. We do have ledge takedowns, silent takedowns, ground takedowns, and the inverted takedowns. But that's it. No double takedowns, no like fancy gadget takedowns. It's honestly a little limiting when you go from playing the later games and then come back to play this one. It does feel very limiting. I'll just admit that out the gate. But after the Predator section, we get released out into the island as a whole. And the island, while it's not the largest of all the open worlds, honestly, it holds such a special place in my heart. It is so atmospheric. The gothic architecture, the cramped, isolated feel of it all, everything being so close together. And despite the size of it, it still has 240 collectibles. That's a little over half of what we get of an Arkham City in a map that is like a third the size. I love the Asylum map oh so much. I could spend hours just exploring every nook and cranny of this map, and I have in several runs. I've played this game multiple times throughout my life, and while I have 100% of this game in the past, there are still things that I just either don't remember or I find new in every playthrough, and I just Love it. But then we eventually go and we find a bunch of people beating up on our ride, and we have to take care of them. You know, it's like we can't have nobody scuffing up the ride. And this is where we find a pipe left by Commissioner Gordon that we use to follow him. But instead of follow him immediately, I think it's time that we go ahead and take a quick break and come and say hi to Joker. Throughout the game, you can stop by here periodically and see the Joker, and he'll give you a little speech, and I'll go ahead and make sure to show you guys the few times that I stopped by in this playthrough. But now it's back to finding the commissioner and going to the medical facility where you find him and Harley. Harley is a little, catty. She wants her me time, so we have to go in through the roof to save the doctors here. Because, of course, they need saving, because the security here on Arkham Asylum is just great. But after rescuing all of the doctors, we make our way into the basement where we find the dead commissioner. He's been moided. Then we come into the morgue where we have a nice chat with our parents, and then we meet the good doctor. I remember the Scarecrow sections as a child scaring the absolute shit out of me. The Freddy Krueger-like nature of the Scarecrow in this game, with the syringes on his hands, kind of like his claws, and the nightmare-like world that the fear toxin brings you into, is just so iconic. I definitely failed, probably at least once or twice going through the Scarecrow sections, definitely as a kid, but I promise you, I did them all perfectly this playthrough, and at no point did I ever die to Scarecrow. But after the first Scarecrow section, we are back onto the case of finding Harley. We track her down and rescue the commissioner just in time to meet Bane. And this is where we come to the Bane fight, which honestly is a rather easy fight that I at no point failed at all. You just got to hit him with a boomerang and he'll charge and hit a wall, and then you punch him a couple of times and you rip out these tubes, and bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle, Batmobile. But after our time with Bane, it is time for us to go and talk with good old Dr. J. Well, after those nice comforting words, we can go ahead and make our way down into the Batcave beneath the asylum, and this is where we get the Titan reveal on what it is, and it's basically just super venom. Venom being the thing that is coursing through Bane's veins, and not the Marvel you know what, yeah, I'm gonna take this stance in this video, the Marvel superhero Venom. But after this is when we get the Bat Claw unlock, and in this game, unlike the other ones, we cannot use the Bat Claw to pick up the Riddler trophies. I tried it a couple of times, but it doesn't work. You can just see the Bat Claw go right through it. As we are leaving the sewers back up to the mainland island from the Batcave, we can go ahead and stop by and say hi to our best man, Croc. Then, as we get released out into the island, we are introduced to the most deadly part of this game, the snipers. Although I'm such a beast, at no point did the snipers ever kill me. I'm just that good at the game. So, with the snipers not even somewhat hindering our progress, we make our way to Arkham Manor in order for us to find Dr. Young. We don't find Dr. Young, but we find the Titan formula, and we are able to destroy it, which all sorts of upsets the Joker. And then as we search for Young in the manor, we definitely don't have a PTSD flashback to our childhood. And we don't have the second Scarecrow section where I don't die at all. Fun fact, if you want an easy way to deal with the skeletons, just use the explosive gel. It'll take them out in a single hit. You might get hit once or twice trying to do it if you're not doing it right, but it's a great tactic. Try it sometime. But after besting our fears for the second time, we continue on our way until we find Dr. Young. And then Dr. Young dies again, and Harley takes off with the warden. Yippee! So we begin tracking once again, but you know what? I think that we need a break after all of this craziness.
I'm afraid I cannot attend your appointment today, but Dr. Quinzel has kindly offered to sit in.
Stupid bat, always bothering Mr. J with your problems. You'll never be as dreamy as him. You're just an ugly, stupid bat in a trap.
Wise words indeed. So off we go into the cell block, searching after Warden Quincy Sharp. It really doesn't take all too long for us to find Wardy Sharpie on his own. And this is where we get the cryptographic sequencer. This will allow us to hack several of the panels all along the island to allow us to access areas we wouldn't normally be able to access. But this does also cause Harley to release a bunch of, what's the word? Psychotic inmates. Now, I know that's a little redundant given where we're at, but the lunatics are ones that will latch onto you and just start draining your health until you throw them off. Thankfully, they go down with a single counter and ground takedown combo, so they're not too big of a threat, all things considered. But she does also release her girlfriend, so that's something to be concerned about. But not too concerned, because not much long after that, we take down all of Harley's goons, and then we take down Harley. I mean, like, we just kind of throw her in that cell. But with Harley detained, it's time for us to go back out into the island to try and stop the production of the Titan formula. But first, let's go see Mr. J and see how he's feeling about his girlfriend getting captured. Huh. Well, not exactly the reaction I was expecting, but, I guess we're going to the Botanical Gardens now. The Botanical Gardens is one of my favorite areas in the game, even though it's so small. I don't know, I just like all the plants everywhere. It's a real nice vibe to me. But after a couple of quick predator encounters in the Botanical Gardens that I at no point fail at all, we make our way to the Joker. Joker decides to unleash two of his Titan goons on us as he leaves, and we get to take those on. This is where we fight the Titans for the first time for real, and I mean, honestly, they're kind of just like Bane. They charge at you, you batarang them, you get out of the way, and you wail on them a couple of times. But then you get to ride on their backs to beat the shit out of the other one, and that is a ton of fun. After taking down the Titans, we go and we convince Ivy to help us take down the Joker and stop the Titan formula with no threats and just being a real stand-up dude. Ain't that right, Batman? But after that, we then have to go after Croc, because that's the only place those plants go. Ain't that right, Ivy?
Yes.
So we make our way back into the opening building of the game, and we have ourselves an absolutely normal time in this place. No, I know the first time people played through this segment, they actually thought that their game was fucked up. Because I know that I did basically every time that I play, because I almost always forget that this is happening until it starts happening. But this is how the last Scarecrow segment begins. And then we get to see Batman just absolutely raw dog that fear toxin to take out the Scarecrow. I don't know why I struggled saying Scarecrow so much there. Either way, after that, we have to go and we enjoy ourselves with a nice little Killer Croc party because a doctor decided to go join him. After Crane and Croc get some good personal time, we have to go through Croc's lair collecting the what are they? Plant jizz in order for us to make the Titan cure. I beat him first try. He didn't get me even once. But after the Croc segment, we synthesize the cure for Titan, or the antidote for Titan. Cure, antidote, semantics. But then Ivy takes down most of the island, and her plants are going crazy now that she's been infused with Titan. And so we have to get the Ultra Claw in order to destroy shit. The Ultra Claw is basically like the explosive gel, but like from like far away. You can just rip down breakable walls. You can rip guys towards you. It's great. But now with the Ultra Claw in hand, we have to go and shut down the pumps. Otherwise, Joker is going to send Titan out into Gotham City through the water system. And we have to take down another Titan. But, you know, as Batman, this really wasn't all that tough. They didn't even get me once. You guys getting tired of this? They didn't even get me once bit? I'm not. It's not even getting old, not even once. But now, I think we need to take a nice quick break and talk to our psychologist. That was great. Thank you so much. I think I'm ready to take on Ivy now, because Ivy needs to be taken care of before she destroys the whole city. So we make our way back into the botanical gardens, fight through Ivy's mentally possessed goons, and then we take down Ivy and her massive fuck-off plant. Well, now that Ivy's been taken care of, I think we need to go and actually go to our party, finally. But you know what? Fuck this guy in his list. I'm going in. And what do you know? There's a nice little welcome crew here waiting for me in tow. What a nice little warm-up before I go and talk to my therapist this time. Well, now that the doctor has decided to blow us up, I think it's time for us to go into his office. And this is where we get our final Titan fight. And this was the easiest of all of them. 2 Titans and a bunch of thugs. That wasn't hard at all. I beat them first try. After a long and hard-fought battle, I take out all of the thugs in the room, except, well, I don't. I just take out the Titan thugs. I didn't even know that you could do that. I thought you had to take everyone out. But then Batman gets injected with the Titan formula, and through sheer force of willpower, he just doesn't. And he's like, "No, Joker, I am Batman." And Batman's all over the place. Joker ain't too happy about it, obviously, and so he finally injects himself with the Titan formula, and we get the biggest letdown boss fight, if we're being honest. This final Joker fight isn't really all that exciting. You walk away from him, and then you pull him down with the Ultra Claw, and then you punch him, and then you fight a couple of guys. Rinse, repeat. But that doesn't stop the final segment where Batman explosive gels up his fists and fucking sends it straight into the Joker's face. Still one of the best endings, in my opinion. And with that, Batman had taken down the Joker and saved Arkham Asylum for the night. And saved us from years of shitty superhero games. Because this spawned one of the best franchises of all time, ignoring Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And I am so glad that it got made. And I hope you all enjoyed with me walking through it with me. Ugh. And I hope you all enjoyed walking through it with me again this time this year. I know for a fact that I'm going to continue playing not just Arkham Asylum, but all of the Arkham games for years to come. And I am excited to see what you all have to say about this franchise in the comments below. Thank you all for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Good night, good evening, good day.